Kenyan politics rarely needs earthquakes. Sometimes one quiet statement, spoken calmly inside a church, is enough to shake an entire election strategy to its knees. On Sunday, November 30th, 2025, while attending a Thanksgiving service at the PCEA Church in Kariobangi North for the DCP party candidate who won a ward by election, Rigathi Gachagua said something so simple, yet so loaded with political explosives, that it may have just collapsed Kalonzo Musyoka's entire 2027 game plan like a pack of cards. For months, Kalonzo Musyoka has executed one of the most complicated political gymnastics routines in Kenyan history. He wanted to inherit Raila Odinga's ODM base. He wanted to seduce Rigathi Gachagua's Mount Kenya base. He wanted to appear anti-Ruto enough to appease Gachagua foot soldiers, but not too unfriendly to antagonize the ODM broad-based supporters. He wanted Raila's ODM base, without upsetting Mount Kenya. A careful balancing act, a magician's trick. In other words, Kalonzo wanted to belong to everybody, but ended up looking like he belongs to nobody. And then there was the comedy of contradictions. Let's begin with the great irony. When Parliament moved to impeach Rigathi Gachagua, Kalonzo pretended he opposed Gachagua's impeachment. Yes, the very impeachment that needed to succeed so he could inherit Gachagua's Mount Kenya base once Gachagua was legally crippled. And yes, he even defended Gachagua from the exact crime he used to scream about during the 2023 Azimio protests, Gachagua's ethnic balkanization of Kenyans into shareholders and non-shareholders. Well, Kalonzo really needed the impeachment to succeed, because with Gachagua barred from office, he would fill the Mount Kenya political vacuum. Yet in public, he had to be seen to oppose the impeachment. A man quietly hoping something succeeds, while loudly acting like he wants it to fail. That's not strategy. That's Olympic-level political acrobatics. Knowing how fast Gachagua gets suspicious, Kalonzo began keeping a safe distance from Raila Odinga, the very man whose political base he needs most. He vanished from events where Raila appeared. He rejected an invitation to ODM at 20 in Mombasa. He ran his campaign like a man dating ODM in private, but refusing to be seen with ODM in public. Kalonzo wanted Baba's votes, but not Baba's shadow. He wanted ODM votes, desperately. But he couldn't afford to be seen as too close to Raila, because then Gachagua would panic and block his path to Mount Kenya. This is what happens when you're trying to be the boyfriend of two jealous partners at once. Then came the other theater, staying far from Ruto. Rumors were flying that Kalonzo was about to ditch the united opposition and cross over to Ruto's side. So what did Kalonzo do? To prove he wasn't switching sides, Kalonzo did the dramatic. He boycotted Mashuja Day, held in his own Ukambani political backyard, in his own Kitui home county. But the irony? While Kalonzo was hiding, his closest political allies were smiling broadly behind Ruto during the president's successful Ukambani tour. Because apparently, Kalonzo doesn't control his allies control him. Kalonzo's plan to inherit ODM was executed with surgical precision. Meetings with Edwin Sifuna, Nairobi Senator, ODM's popular Secretary General. Meetings with Babu Owino, Nairobi's future gubernatorial aspirant and the presumptive post-Raila Odinga Luo kingpin. A dramatic pilgrimage to Raila Odinga's gravesite, arriving with 100 cows like a biblical offering. Nothing sends a message like a herd of cattle, and Ida Odinga received him warmly, showering him with praise. Edwin Sifuna and Babu Owino believed him. They trusted him. They locked hands in optimism, convinced that Kalonzo would guarantee Akamba backing in Nairobi. It was beautiful, emotional, symbolic. And then came the bombshell. Inside a church in Kariobangi North, Rigathi Gachagua stood up and delivered the bomb that shook the nation. He announced, calmly, confidently, with the audacity only Gachagua can summon, that he had a political agreement with Kalonzo Musyoka, not just any agreement, a full Nairobi takeover deal, governor, senator, woman repping 16 out of 17 MPs, 75 out of 85 MCAs, all to go to Gachagua's DCP party with Kalonzo's Akamba support. In short, Kalonzo was giving Gachagua everything and receiving absolutely nothing in return. Even worse, this deal would leave Sifuna with nothing, Babu with nothing, ODM with nothing, Akamba with nothing, and Kalonzo with, well, the satisfaction of helping a man he once called a danger to national unity. It was political suicide wrapped in a handshake. The deal is politically insane. The absurdity is spectacular. Gachagua's influence in Mount Kenya East is collapsing. He can no longer guarantee a block Mount Kenya vote for anyone. Yet Kalonzo traded Nairobi, the jewel of ODM, for a man with shrinking political capital. It's like trading a mansion in Nairobi's Karen for a plot near a quarry in Kayole. It makes no sense. Kalonzo was trying to deceive everyone simultaneously. Or maybe he wasn't. But the rebuttal exposed Kalonzo completely. Kalonzo responded. And oh, what a response. He blamed the statements that Gachagua himself uttered, publicly, clearly, in church, on unnamed people trying to create a wedge between him and Gachagua. Wiper Party leaders dismissed Gachagua's claims as false. But Kalonzo's panic revealed more truth than he intended, because now, the unavoidable conclusion is this. If he denies the deal, he betrays Gachagua. If he accepts the deal, he betrays Babu Owino, Edwin Sifuna, the ODM base, and his own Akamba community. Kalonzo is now a man trying to lie to all sides at the same time, and getting caught by all of them simultaneously. But here's the big question. Who was Kalonzo really fooling? Was Kalonzo naive enough to think he could fool both sides at the same time? Our answer is no. He wasn't trying to fool everyone. He was only trying to fool Rigathi Gachagua. Why? Because the Kalonzo-Gachagua deal was a total secret hidden especially from Kamba voters in Nairobi, until Gachagua spilled it in Kariobangi North. Sifuna Babu was public celebrated, well understood across the Kamba communities in Nairobi. Kamba voters already believed they were voting for Sifuna and Babu. Now, thanks to Gachagua's revelation, they're confused, and Kalonzo must make a damning choice he never wanted to face. This confusion exposes something even darker. The recently leaked United Opposition plan to give Gachagua 50% of government. A plan we warned could backfire, because if Kalonzo or Matiang'i ever won, they would likely use the Ruto Sakaja playbook and go for a handshake with the Ruto Raila broad-based team, long before honoring anything they had promised Gachagua. Meaning the biggest risk for Mount Kenya is simple. Gachagua may have been the only one being fooled. Gachagua's Kariobangi North declaration is not just a statement, it is an earthquake. A quiet, calculated, devastating earthquake. Whether Kalonzo truly agreed to the Nairobi deal or not. Gachagua's statement achieved one devastating outcome. In one stroke, Gachagua damaged Kalonzo's ODM inheritance plan, exposing him as desperate and unprincipled. Kalonzo's 2027 plan depended on ODM trusting him, Gachagua trusting him, the Akamba trusting him, Mount Kenya welcoming him. But now, ODM is suspicious. Gachagua must be amused. The Akamba are getting confused. And Mount Kenya may need to go back to the drawing board, all because of a single, calm, calculated statement from a church pulpit. Rigathi Gachagua didn't shout. He didn't attack. He didn't campaign. He simply revealed. And in that moment, Kalonzo's delicate 2027 construction began to crumble like a tired pack of cards. Be sure to hit the thumbs up and subscribe to Kenya 2027 Watch for more explosive but factual analysis of Kenyan politics on the road to 2027. We're here on a serious mission to separate the facts from the propaganda.